welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashi Adani and for today's video I'm going to be reviewing 10 viral sunscreens to tell you which is actually the best one. So let's get started. Let me tell you a little bit about why this video. A couple of months ago, I did a video called Rating 20 Lip Balms and I basically gave you the pros and cons of every lip balm that I own and उसमें top comment था. So which is the best one? Which is fair क्योंकि मैंने नहीं बताया which is the best one according to me. So I feel like we can do that with sunscreens because इसमें actually हम metric बिठा सकते हैं according to its efficacy, cost and feel. So I've done a lot of digging around and I've rated and narrowed it down to these 10 sunscreens right now. But if there are more sunscreens that you want me to review, we can do part 2, 3, 20. We can do as many parts as possible. So you put down the sunscreen that you like in the comments below if you happen to enjoy this video and this concept. So मैं ये पहली बार कर रही हूँ. So if there are some corrections that we can do to the metric system, definitely I'll take care of it in the next part. अभी के लिए I've done what I think is the best way to measure a sunscreen. So any sunscreen that you see will have an SPF with a number next to it. Now SPF is something that protects your skin from UVB rays. Usually 50 तो मतलब अभी basic हो गया है. 50 से below कुछ भी रहेगा. So you won't even it's not enough protection basically. So our base metric is SPF 50 and after that you will see PA ratings. Now PA ratings रहता है, that is something that is showing how much your sunscreen can protect you from UVA rays. So usually 4 plus is the basic metric. Anything less than that is just not enough protection. So we have 5 points for protection, 2.5 for UVA and 2.5 for UVB to see how much the sunscreen can protect you. Metric 2 for 5 points is texture. How does it feel? How does it apply? How does it wear under makeup? Does it leave any white cast? All of those points are covered under texture for 5 points. And number 3 is price point, which is very, very important because if you're someone who uses sunscreen every single day, you are going to need something that is accessible to you very easily. So that is again for 5 points. So basically 15 mark की rating पे हर sunscreen को मैं rate करूँगी and we'll know by the end of the video which one is the best. The first sunscreen that I have is from Mira Kapoor's brand A Kind. Now this is their no shade sunscreen primer. It has SPF 50 which is great. It has PA 4 plus which is again great. So 5 on 5 on that. So it gives UVA protection, it gives UVB protection. It is a mattifying texture. Speaking of the texture, I thought it felt very thick on my skin. It sat on top of my skin. It did not blend in within my skin. There is no white cast, but this really pills under the makeup. Like a couple of times that I've tried it out, it feels very heavy, and then if you use any formulation of foundation or whatever or a moisturizer on top of this, it ends up pilling. So that doesn't work for me. And this costs $7.95, which according to me is little pricey. Coming to points, this gets 5 on 5 for protection. It gets 2 for application and texture and it gets 3 for price point. So I would rate this sunscreen 10 out of 15 points. Next we have the very viral Wishcare Invisible Gel Sunscreen. This has SPF 50 plus, it has PA 4 pluses, it gives a very nice glow, it has no white cast, it looks like your skin but better, it sits beautifully under makeup. And it blends very, very quickly and it costs rupees $4.99. So for protection, this gets 5 on 5. For texture and application, this gets 5 on 5. For price, I'm cutting 1 point because 500 rupees bhi thoda zyada hai. So I'll give it a 4 on 5. So I'd rate this sunscreen 14 out of 15 points. Next, we have the Plum Rice Water and Niacinamide Hybrid Sunscreen. Now this has SPF 50, but it has PA 3 pluses only. Again, this has a beautiful glow. It gives no white cast. It sits beautifully under makeup as well. It blends very quickly. And price point bhi iska sahi hai. It's for $3.99. So when we talk about ratings, I'm going to give this 3 in terms of protection, 5 for texture and application, and 5 for the price point, giving it a good 13 out of 15 points. Next, we have the internet's favorite beauty of Joseon sunscreen. This has SPF 50 plus. It has PA4 pluses. This blends the most beautifully amongst all the sunscreens I've ever tried. It's actually really nice. It's almost water-like. It gives no white cast. It's amazing for dry and sensitive skin as well. But it comes at the price point of 1500 rupees, which is a lot for a sunscreen. So speaking of points, 5 on 5 for protection, 5 on 5 for texture and application, 2 on 5 for price point, making it 12 on 15. Next we have the Bodywise sunscreen stick. Now iska hai SPF 50 with PA3 plus, which is little less. I personally think the texture is lightweight, but it can get sticky in summers. I don't think you can put this over makeup. I have tried and the makeup does transfer quite a bit. But other than that, it has no white cast. It again blends in beautifully. You need to tap it in a bit, but makeup pe nahi kar sakte wo. And this tiny thing costs $8.99. Speaking of protection, I'm gonna give it 3 on 5 because PA is only 3 plus. Texture I'm giving 4 because you can't wear it over makeup. Price point I'm giving it a 3 because it is expensive. So giving it a 10 on 15. Next we have the 52 Sundays sunscreens. This is a sunscreen mist. It has SPF 50 plus. It has PA4 pluses, which is great protection. It gives no white cast. It is no fuss free. You can wear this over makeup. It's actually amazing how much this sunscreen can do, and it applies so beautifully, and it costs 699 rupees. So speaking of protection, 5 on 5, texture and application 5 on 5. But for the price, I'm going to give it a 3 on 5, giving it a total of 13 on 15. Next, we have the La Shield Sunscreen Gel. It has SPF 40 and PA3 pluses, which is quite sad. It's not enough protection. Speaking of application, this one actually surprised me because it's so thick कि मुझे लगा बहुत white cast होगा. There's zero white cast. It blends in beautifully and it's an oil-free formula. So if you have oily skin, it gives you a nice mattified look as well. So I'm really impressed with the texture of it. The price is a little higher. It's 850 rupees. So speaking of protection, it's a 2 on 5. Speaking of texture, it's a 5 on 5. Speaking of price, it is a 3 on 5, giving it a total of 10 on 15. Next, we have the Foxtail Golden Hour Glow Sunscreen. It has SPF 50, PA4 pluses. Texture is really nice. It does not give any white cast. It blends in well, but I feel इसको बहुत blend करना पड़ता है. It does not just like 1-2 swipes and you're done. Absolutely not. You need to give it like 7-8 swipes for it to completely blend into your skin. So it is a little time consuming that way. Price point is amazing. It's for 350 rupees. So for protection, this gets 5 on 5. For application, because it takes longer, I'm giving it a 4 on 5. And for price point, definitely 5 on 5, giving it a 14 on 15. Next, we have the 82 East Licorice Beam Sunscreen Gel. Now this has SPF 40 and PA3 plus, just like the La Shield one, which I'm like, why doesn't it have enough protection? Speaking of texture, it is lightweight, but you can feel it on your skin. It pills under makeup and it gives a very primer silicone wala texture, which I don't really like because I like my sunscreen to feel like second skin and not like something is on top of my skin. I had taken this from Ridul's wedding. If you see any of my YouTube shorts when I'm doing my makeup from Ridul's wedding, I'm wearing this sunscreen and my makeup has pilled. I didn't know it would do that, and my makeup pilled during the wedding and I was very irritated. So I'm not happy about the texture. Price point to usse bhi kharab hai. Is for 1800 rupees for this much, which is very little product. I wish I could tell you. It's for 40 grams. It's not enough. So for protection, it gets a 2 on 5. For texture, application, 2 on 5. And for price point, again, a 2 on 5. Giving it a 6 on 15. Matlab, isse better, if you want to only spend, you might as well get the Beauty of Joseon one because it's much better than this. And last, we have the Dermaco 1% Hyaluronic Tinted Sunscreen Gel. Now, this is the only sunscreen that has SPF 60 PA4 pluses, which is more than enough protection, which I'm very happy about. I feel like the texture, though, is very thick. And if you go to cover your entire face, it will end up looking like a white cast because it's very thick and the tint doesn't... It's not good enough for Indian skin tones, honestly. Like, I feel like they should have done a little more pigment and in a darker way because ye mere liye bhi bahut light hai. And the price point is 500 rupees, which is decent. For protection, I give it a 5 on 5. For texture, I give it a 2 on 5. And for price point, I give it a 4 on 5, giving it 11 on 15. So our top 3 sunscreens for today are the Wishcare Gel Invisible Sunscreen, the Foxtail Golden Hour Glow Sunscreen, and the 52 Sundays Sunscreen Spray. 14 points, 14 points and 13 points. And these two are tied, so you can go ahead and choose which one you like for yourself. This is 100 rupees more expensive, but this takes a little longer to blend. So choose your evil. And that's about it for today's video. Let me know in the comments how we can improve this series to make it more informative and decisive for you guys. And comment below and let me know which sunscreens I should be reviewing in part 2. If you enjoyed this video, then please make sure to like it, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys next Saturday. Bye.